Greetings. I am Jo Sullivan, an instructor of English here at Central Penn College. In this presentation, we will be looking at how to revise a working thesis statement. On this slide, you'll see the objectives for the presentation. Please, this would be a good moment to pause the video and read through them. On this slide, you will see some quick tips on successful note-taking. Please remember to always take notes on what you see, read, and hear in these presentations. First, to review. A thesis statement is one unified idea that organizes and presents the main subject or argument in the essay. An effective thesis statement will be argumentative, and by that we mean it will be a debatable claim supported by reasons and evidence. It will also be specific. You should limit your discussion to a manageable scope. It'll also be original. You want to represent a contribution to the scholarship. Finally, it should foreshadow and provide a roadmap of the essay's main points. When revising your working thesis statement, you want to look at all the research that you've conducted to this point. Your working thesis statement, you'll remember, was a hypothesis or a best guess. At this point, you'll be looking at the research, how it has informed that hypothesis, and revise your argument. As we've talked about, a strong thesis statement makes a claim that can be argued against. It is specific and provides a clear roadmap of the essay's main points. A weak thesis statement, however, doesn't need to be proved. It restates an opinion or fact that most readers would agree with or provides information that is already commonly known. You don't want to write a weak thesis statement, you want a strong thesis statement. On this slide, we will look at the first step in revising our working thesis statement, reviewing the assignment. I know you've all read the assignment before, but it is essential to review it while you revise. You will to look at both the research paper prompt and the presentation Writing a Problem Solution research paper under the materials for week 1. The paper prompt will help outline the specifics of the proposal argument you need to make for this assignment. This slide will look at step 2, ask questions. There are a lot of questions you should be asking as you revise your work. First, look at the specifics of your argument. Who are the main stakeholders and people involved with this issue? Who is the audience that you want to talk about? Who are the people who can fix the problem? Speaking of that problem, what is a specific problem my research has shown? There may be many, but you want to focus on one. How has this problem been addressed in the past? If it hasn't, address that. Talk about why nobody has proposed a solution. If solutions have been proposed, why did they fail? Are there financial reasons, practical reasons? How are you going to address these failures in your own solution? Next, we want to look at questions around the structure of your essay, specifically how you compose your proposal solution. Do I answer the questions in the assignment? That's the first one. Is my claim arguable? We've talked about strong thesis statements. You want to make sure others can oppose it. How will I support my thesis? Can I provide enough evidence from credible sources to support my reason for arguing it? If you can't, look at revising to a solution and thesis that you can. On this slide, we will look at step 3, revising your thesis. You want to make revisions to your thesis statement as often as necessary as your ideas evolve and you discover new research. It is not stagnant, and this will not be the last time you revise this thesis statement. For example, your working thesis might be something like, lead contamination in water must be addressed. That's not necessarily arguable. Most people aren't going to come out and say, no, we should keep lead in our water. So, a revised thesis statement might look like, an increase in lead contamination in city water systems is responsible for an increase in severe health problems and developmental problems in infants and young children. This revised thesis statement looks at not only the specific problem, but the reasons for the problem and why people should care. The final thesis statement, which has been further revised due to research, would look something like this. due to an increase in lead contamination in public water systems. The populations of many American cities have seen an increase in severe health issues and developmental problems in infants and young children. To combat this, the government funding for immediate infrastructure development must be granted at both state and federal levels. As you'll note in this revised final thesis statement, not only does it hit at the specific problem and the specific stakeholders involved, but it also proposes a clear, specific solution. Now, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me or post on the discussion board.